Welcome to the House of Hammer, built by the nation for the nation. Welcome to Raider Nation News today. I am your host and the tribal chief of Raider Nation. Do me a favor, y'all.
Acknowledge me.
There it is. Hope everybody's having a great Monday wherever you guys are at. Before we go any further, y'all know the routine. Those new in here, let me teach you real quick. Smash some thumbs, hammer that sub, crush the bell to stay up to date with all your Raiders news, rumors, updates, live streams, and reactions. Let's do a quick roll call. I see a lot of you guys started coming in probably like a half hour early, and I appreciate y'all for doing that. Anthony, Graham Cam, CGR, let's see, Rorschach, thumbs, thumb smash, subscribe, mod status already received in the mail. Yo, I'm done with you. Let's see who else we got in here. Little Tiger, what's good? Harry Sack, pause. Alex 951. Should be more and more coming in. I know it's been a minute. I told you guys last week after doing the live with Graph, we are back, and we do definitely have something to talk about today. Some news broke earlier this morning. The Green Bay Packers have released two-time Pro Bowler cornerback Jaire Alexander. Now, Jaire signed I think it was a 4-year, $84 million contract back in 2022 with $30 million guaranteed. The post-June 1st cut, of course, it is a $17 million dead money hit against the Green Bay Packers with a cap savings of $7.5 million. Now, we've talked about this a couple of times. We talked about Jaire, I believe, a week ago. We talked about a couple of teams that we said could be landing spots, including the Washington Commanders, the San Francisco 49ers, the Arizona Cardinals. We know we're not overly thrilled about our cornerback room, but at the same time, when it comes to somebody like Jaire, the last 2 seasons, he's only played a total of 14 games due to injuries and off-the-field issues. We've talked about Pete Carroll coming in and changing the culture of this Raiders organization. I've always said availability is your best ability. I'm not 1,000% sure how I feel about this. Now, a lot of us have talked about Jaire over the last couple of years, a guy that we would absolutely love to have in Vegas. Is Jaire a fit for us? Is Jaire a guy that is going to fit the Pete Carroll culture? Defensively, in a scheme that Pete Carroll does run, yes, I do think he could thrive in it. I'm very iffy to see what it's going to look like from a money standpoint. Again, it was a 4-year, $84 million deal, 30 guaranteed. We talked about Gilmore the other day, Dan. I brought him up a list of free agents, and I was a little surprised that he is actually still out there as well. A shout out to the resident meathead. It's got to be one, either him or Ramsey. Who do you think is cheaper? Rob, who do you think is cheaper? Jalen is 6'1", Jaire is 5'10", and we're going by height. Is that what we're doing? Salute to Adam Sweeney in the building. We're gonna go by height. We're gonna go based on productivity. Are we gonna go based upon availability? Again, the money with Ramsey, and that would be a trade. I don't know how I feel about that right now with what he's owed. I said this last week as it pertained to Ramsey, though, that if Miami eats some of the contract, then yes, I'll do it. But if they're not willing to play ball with us, no, I'm not doing that. Jaire is going to be cheaper. Health and height. Ooh, health is better than height. Anthony, that's a valid ass point. Damn, I can't believe you got the Mark Davis graph cut. I can't. We can go age and health. Rorschach is saying no trading for Ramsey. So there you go. So some of you guys a lot of us are already on the same page with this. I definitely, again, I got the news this morning, and salute to Graf. He's at a coaching clinic in Dallas. So I woke up this morning with a message from him about this release. And I was just like, holy shit. We were just talking about this last week. And now Jaire is a free man. He can pretty much go wherever the hell he wants. Whatever team is willing to spend, whatever team wants his services that badly. So, yeah. Let me pull up. Let me see if I can find Jalen Ramsey's remaining contract. I don't know why Jalen Brunson came up. L Rocket with the $2. Appreciate you, bro. Give me 1 second. Get you guys back up on screen first. L Rocket, acknowledge me. Resign KM now. Appreciate you pulling on up, and thank you so much for the $2 holla. Let me find this contract real quickly. Lumpy was good, bro. Been a minute. I think this is the over the cap one. So 2025. His guaranteed salary is $24 million. The base is 1.2. They were to release him, they would be in a shit ton of trouble. You're looking at a $49 million dead money and a cap saving of $32 million. Base salary next season is 10. The cap number is 25. 27. Base is 10. 26.8 is the cap number. 2028. 21 million is the base. 36 cap number. Yeah. I'm not touching that. I'm not touching that. Again, if the Miami Dolphins are willing to play ball and eat a nice amount of that contract, then cool. But other than that, absolutely not. I'm not doing it. Absolutely not. Reese said, pay Ramsey over Jaire all day, every day. Again, age is definitely going to play a part in that type of money. And I'd much rather go a cheaper route. And that sounds fucking crazy to say it. And again, when it comes to Jaire, 14 games in the last 2 seasons. Health issues, off the field issues. Got to trade for Ramsey, though. Yeah. All right. What are you willing to trade? What are you willing to trade for Ramsey? What are you willing to trade for Ramsey? That's the question. Let's go get Ramsey and Pratt. Our linebacker room feels even more thin than our DB room. And I think it is. No, I do. I've talked about the linebacking room. I'm a little nervous about it. Yeah, granted, we got Devin White. Devin White did not have a great year last season. So granted, his contract is cheap as hell. I don't know. I think we're thin there. I definitely believe we're more thin in a linebacking room than we are the corner. Patrick, what's good? Salute to Desert. The 3-time champ is in the building. A 5th or a 6th for Ramsey. A 5th or no. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. No way. 3rd. Probably a 3rd. Probably a 3rd. Probably a 3rd. AOC and Demoter. Yo. Fucking terrible. No. Definitely not trading O'Connell to Miami. They just got a quarterback. Jaire's too injury prone. We'll have 3 corners that are made of Cinderella glass. Good God almighty. 3rd, 4th at best, Harry. I'm not saying that whole name. I bring in Stephon Gilmore on a 1-year deal. How much are you willing to pay Stephon Gilmore? And I would not mind having Stephon Gilmore here. I wouldn't. To reduce that salary hit, I'd trade a 4th. Okay. Kick nuts. What up, bro? I did hit up our guy. He was busy. I don't know if he's available now. He's more than welcome to pull up if he wants to. They won't do it, but that's as much as I'd offer. Okay. Fair enough. I don't even know what to make of Devin White signing. The amount they signed him makes it feel like depth, but as thin as the room is, he might be our starter unless the youngsters ball out. I could see that. And he is a guy that I definitely am a little hesitant about now. A couple of years ago, yeah, this was a guy that I talked about on several occasions. Like, yeah, he'd be a good fit. But right now, for the amount that we're paying him, you better put some work in. You better have a turnaround year. This is a prove it deal for him. Like, you better turn it around compared to last season. Most definitely. A 6 and 2 wasted his outfit. Yeah, I'm done with you. L11 salute. I got to do some research on him, actually, and I'll do that right now, actually, as we talk about it. And I do want to touch on a short period of time. I know there are a couple of pressers last week, including Patrick Graham. And this was actually something I wanted to talk about. I wanted to do a live about this, create a whole different thumbnail with this, because of some of the things that Patrick Graham said in that presser. And I talked about this from the time that it was official that Pete Carroll was our head coach. We know Pete. We know about the Legion of Boom. We know his track record. It was like you're bringing somebody in like Pete Carroll. He's going to have his fingerprints all over this defense. Like, I was like, he's going to oversee a lot of things, and he's probably going to. Graf actually just sent a text. He's going to have his fingerprints all over this defense, and at the same time, like, oversee a lot of things as it pertains to Patrick Graham being defensive coordinator. Very similarly, Patrick Graham kind of said some things in that presser last week. Nothing but high praise for Patrick Graham. I'm sorry. Nothing but high praise for Pete Carroll from Patrick Graham. But it seems like Uncle Pete is doing already a lot of overseeing and helping out this defense. So I'm very intrigued to see what the scheme is going to be. Are we going to see, Patrick Graham was like his defensive scheme is a bit of a hybrid. Are we going to see more of a 4-3? Are we going to see more of a 3-4 over the nickel, the base nickel that they were running? Stay tuned, because I definitely like the fact that he said what he said, and I'm just like, okay, Uncle Pete has definitely got his eyes and ears and everything on this defense right now. Salute to Rorschach on the $2 super. It's great to have you back, Hammer. Appreciate you, man. I really appreciate you. I'm happy to be back. I'm gonna try to be on as much as I possibly can be for you guys. Like I said, a few times a week, if it's a 45-minute, half-hour show. My work schedule is crazy, but I'm doing my best now. This is year 4 that I'm doing this. Year 4. Damn, it's been a whirlwind over those 4 years. We got to 10,000 subs. I want to continue to grow. I'm going to do my best to put out as much possible as I can. Once the regular season's here, you guys know we will be on game days, me and Graf. That's never going to change. It's just trying to balance, and I think I've kind of balanced everything out the right way over the last week or two. I appreciate you. We need corners for the NFC East receivers and Mahomes and Stroud. Yeah, it's probably weird for people to hear that, but I call him Uncle Pete. I'm sorry. Papa Pete going to get this thing right. I like that one too, but I like Uncle Pete. Let me pull this up as it pertains to Jermaine Pratt. Let me just see something. I think I got it now. All right. Let's take a look at the stats over the last. I'll take a look. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 seasons in the league, all with Cincinnati. For his career, he has not missed many games, which is great. Last year is probably his best. He had 80 tackles, 63 assisted, 143 combined, 5 for a loss, 6 pass breakups, 2 interceptions, 2 forced fumbles. solid. I tell you that. Like, again, this is last year's numbers, and last year's numbers were definitely, last year was his standout year. I'd take the flyer on him. I'm curious to see, or curious to know, what his market value is. Big Bro's in the building. Hold on one second, because I didn't open your text. I heard the notification. If you guys heard the text, y'all would be laughing your asses off. Oh, is that? Yo, my boy is on the same field as Old Man Jones right now. There you go. Listen to Jaire Jones talk now here at the coaches clinic in Dallas. Yeah, he just sent me a video of him. Like, it looks like Jaire Jones is probably about 30 feet away from him as he's talking to everybody at this clinic. Much love to you, big bro. Reese, you ain't lying, bro. You ain't lying, but you know, in time, everything's gonna pay off. Everything's gonna take care of itself. I guess that's the best way to put it. But I'm here right now. I'm here with you guys. I appreciate. We have like 100 in here right now. I don't know exactly how many we have on this on the YouTube side of things, but I appreciate everybody that's in here tonight. Now that it means, not that it means much, but wasn't it Jermaine Pratt that INT'd car in that? I'm pretty sure it was. Fuck. Why? Why? Okay. Dude, I can't not look at that name and not want to bust out laughing. Like, bro, really? Let me see. Let's see if we can get this dude if he's around, because I want to hear his thoughts, because he was on the kick that Jaire Alexander wasn't going anywhere. So if he's available, I want to see if we can get this dude on. If not, it is what it is. I'm waiting, damn it. See if it, I'm sorry for the dead air, guys. I want to see if this dude answers the phone. And guess not. All right, is what it is. Let's see. Sign Alexander. Salute to the 3-time champ. I respect Graf wearing his Raiders gear at the coach's clinic. Straight gangs. That's a fact. That's all he wears, though. So are you surprised? That's all he owns, besides his A's and King stuff, which he hardly ever wears. Salute to the 3-time champ. Sign Alexander on the cheap with bonuses for playing time. But again, what are we looking at market value-wise? We talked about his contract. I'm going to try to see if I can find this one now. Hold on. I don't know why it's doing that. I'm going to take a look at Spot Track and just take a look and see what. Of course, they're not going to show me this now. They're not going to show what his actual market value is right now. And again, the average salary is $21 million. Again, the signing bonus was 30. They're not showing me an actual. They're not showing me an actual what his market value is at this point. Damn, yo, native. Why? You just made me realize what I said. I'm done. Y'all are out of control for that. Salute to the 127 in here. If you haven't already, smash some thumbs, hammer that sub, crush the bell. We are on Facebook. We're on X. We are on Twitch for some strange reason. We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook right now. And of course, we're on YouTube. You want to be a part of the conversation, come on over to YouTube, Raider Nation News Today. Best way to interact with the rest of Raider Nation in the chat. See if there's anything else that has happened within the last few days. There was something I did want to talk about, and I'm pretty sure that Graf and Wasted probably did this yesterday. I know they had a live going on, and I believe the Raiders Report did this as well within the last few days, giving predictions on possible cuts ahead of the regular season. Now, there's a couple of guys that we already released, including Gardner Minshew, Andre James, Jack who? Yeah, Jack go bye-bye. I definitely have a feeling of a couple of others. Aiden O'Connell is not one of them for the record, because people are going to be like, oh, he's going to be gone. Like, I backup. He's a backup. I think certain things right now, as they play out, and this might even go into the season, you might see certain things happen. But I have a couple of other players that I think could potentially be gone. We need a decent backup. So I think O'Connell kind of serves as that decent backup for the time being. But I'm going to go through a list of names, and you guys can just give me a thumbs up, thumbs down when I say these names, and I'll give little reasons here and there behind it. No Diddy. We have a guy right now that's in the final year of his contract. Now, I have not heard anything, and we heard Spy Tech a while back. He's not going to address it publicly in terms of negotiations or anything like that as it pertains to this guy. And I'm talking about our left tackle, Colton Miller. I think certain things could play a role in this coming season. If it does not, if there is no extension as we get into the start of the regular season, and I'm looking at it from this standpoint for these scenarios. Potential trade, again, going into the final year of his contract, or they just let him play out the final year of his contract. Would I like to see him with a contract extension? If he's performing at the high level, if he's healthy, then yeah, extend him. If not, then you have those other options. Tommy Eichenberg, you've heard things about him throughout these OTAs, and minicamp starts this week. But I ultimately think right now he's got to get through camp, and he cannot get outmatched and outplayed by these rookies. But I think that Tommy Eichenberg is on that block. He might not be here come week 1. This one is probably a stretch considering he started for us last year. I don't know if you guys just heard that. I can't get over that shit when I get the text. I don't even want to put this name in the middle of it because I don't think it's a legit. I don't think it's realistic. DJ Glaze, no. I think he's gonna be here. I think he had a really good, did a solid job at the right tackle position for us last season. I don't think that's really a guy that we need to be concerned about. This is one that hurts me in a sense. This is somebody that I'm trying to think the best way to put this is we're one and the same. We're both Long Island boys. I know this is one of Graf's guys as well. Dylan Lauby. Tommy Malott seems to be getting a really good amount of reps right now. Unless Lauby steps up, I'm on the fence about him being on this 53-man roster come week 1. That's not a knock at all. Again, it's one of my guys. Like, we are one and the same. Like, it would definitely hurt me to not see him here. But again, at the end of the day, excuse me, at the end of the day, it's business. So maybe the practice squad. Time will tell. The battles with Meredith, Parham, and Kappa. Everybody's high on Meredith. I really like Meredith. Parham has I want to say from his rookie year to now, he's kind of had a bit of a drop-off. So Parham might be a guy that potentially He could be a guy that's on the fence right now. We don't have the inside linebackers or corners to cover and stop the run of the Eagles, but we can stop a Washington or Bears team without certain positions we're lacking at. Salute to Reese. Now, I'm still, this whole thing with Kappa and how people have talked about Kappa, I'm just not sure. Yeah, Bengals were not that great last year. His performance was not the best. Whew. I'm really sorry, guys. Yesterday, I got out of work at 7 a.m. and I did not go to sleep until probably midnight. So I apologize with the yawning and shit. This is why it's like, what are we doing? Kappa should be a swing guard. I could see that. I could absolutely see that, Matt. I could absolutely see that. It's crazy because I'm looking at something that I was reading up on, and they're even saying, which is just a high likelihood, is Colton Miller and a guy we just signed recently in Raheem Mostert, and they're looking at it as like both cap driven cuts. I've talked about Mostert several times. I don't think it's been to the point of ad nauseum, but I've talked about him several times and I've said what he's capable of doing for this offense. I definitely look at him as a solid number 2 to Ashton Genty. I don't see him going anywhere. And this whole thing with Colton Miller, if you guys can find a way to reach an agreement on an extension, great. If not, it is what it is. Like, if we're having a down year, I didn't want to say another, but if we were to, God forbid, have another down year, then yeah, maybe you could look at Colton Miller as a guy that you could just trade away. But I don't know. I think that things are going to work itself out with him. I feel like you could see Colton Miller getting a 3-year extension, maybe a 4. Most of it, yeah. Okay, there we go. Parm is too light in the britches to be an offensive guard. We need, who was it? Was it the Mokes that would say it? I can't remember which one it was. It was the Mokes or one other person that would talk about Parm, and Parm is like the dude that is like the size of a tight end. He should not be playing on the offensive line. And at this point in time, yeah, I'm starting to see it. Matt, I agree. I'm not saying I'm for these things. I'm saying let's come to an agreement and give him like a 3-year deal, a 3-year extension. Pay him along the lines of where he ranks, which he's ranked like amongst left tackles in the league. If I remember correctly, he's ranked like 13th. So pay him as such. You don't have to overpay for his services. Just make the deal make sense. Mostert helps us run a double back system versus the Chiefs. Grinding them down with our run game has always been our staple. Absolutely. Absolutely. Pessimistic Frank says 6 to 7 wins. I am not tripping this year. I never do predictions. At least not until a few weeks into the season. Lowest I'm going. Lowest I'll go is 8 wins. The highest I'm going to go 11. And I'm telling you right now, the Chiefs are coming back down to earth this year. They're not winning 15 games again this season. Absolutely not. And you can take that to the bank. Salute to the 163. I got to fix that. Hold up. I did have some things I was going to mess around with today. I probably could still do it at the moment if I wanted to, but I'm a little nervous to do it. Should I do it? Should I do it? Should I change the layout like while we're sitting here? Basement 8 to 9, ceiling 11. Facts. I'm not saying your name, but facts. I'll highlight you in the chat, but I'm not saying your name. Do it. This is going to be This is going to be really different. This is something that I want to start working on. Hold on. Let's see if it's going to allow me to do it right now. You got a piece of it. I don't know how long this is going to be able to stay up like this and actually run the correct way, because the live chat, as you can see, it's not running next to me like it's supposed to. But I guess we could run this for a little bit. Oh, there it is. Yep. All right. I think we beat the Chiefs week 18 for AFC. I think it's going to come down to, I do think it's going to come down to that at the end of the season. I think it's going to be incredibly crazy to see how it unfolds when we get down to the wire. But I think that's probably going to be a legit scenario. JPJ told Max his favorite thing to do is run down the field like a fat gazelle. Look, some of the things that we saw from JPJ last season, I was just like, are we sure that we have him playing on the right side of the ball? Like, he looks like a dude that would be a monster on defense. With Pete, Chip, and Geno as essential upgrades, 10 and 7 is absolutely. I don't disagree with that. What do you guys think of this layout that we have on the screen right now? Thumbs up, thumbs down. If we could have scored 21 to 23 points in these last 3 meetings with KC, we would have won. The problem was we couldn't get but 10 to 17 points due to horrendous QB quality. Geno is all pro, better than that. That's a fucking fact. That is a fact, Reese. There's Demokes. So apparently, Demokes, we're trading you and AOC to Miami for the services of Jalen Ramsey. I want to see his response to that. We are going to do some different things with this layout eventually. Like I said, I was very hesitant to even pull this up right now for you guys, but it looks pretty good to me. So I'll have a little fun with this for a little bit. We've already been on for 30 minutes. There really hasn't been much else to talk about. I am going to look something up real quick just to double check. I don't believe there's any pressers today. We talked about Jaire. You guys actually talked about Jalen Ramsey. Hold up. I have a feeling I can't even pull this up right now. Like, they're going to tell me I need to subscribe. But with what the news that we're talking about today, this could be a possibility. Let me see. Yep. Here we go. So Newsweek put an article out about 2 hours ago. And you guys see the thumbnail. You know what we're here about today. You know what we're talking about. So they are actually talking about our Raiders going after Jaire Alexander in this Newsweek article. And this is a little bit of the article. Let me get into it real quickly for you guys. Pete Carroll has earned a reputation for coaching up corners during his NFL career, but the Raiders are presently lacking a number one corner, which we have talked about. Alexander would change that. And he projects as a nice longer-term complement to third-round rookie Darian Porter, a raw, bigger-body defensive back. The Raiders already signed one former Packers cornerback during the offseason, Eric Stokes. Perhaps they will go back to the well and target Alexander. Alexander would give Las Vegas the number one corner the team has been needing. He would help the Raiders meet up with elite offenses within the AFC West Division, especially when it comes to Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. Over the last 2 years, and I talked about this earlier, he's only played 14 games. He has played 7 in each of the last 2 seasons. Last year, he recorded 16 tackles, a fumble recovery, 2 interceptions, a defensive touchdown, and 7 defended passes in the 7 games that he played. When he's healthy, Alexander is still one of the best corners in the NFL. On a one-year deal, he would be worth the minimal risk for Las Vegas to bring him on board. Carroll and company have a talented roster to work with. Adding the former Packers star to the mix would make their defense much better than it currently looks. Expect to hear a lot about Alexander in the coming days. It's possible that the Raiders will pass on the opportunity, but he would make a lot of sense for them to pursue. Salute to Newsweek on that article. 1 year minimum? 1 year minimum, yes or no? That's all I'm asking right now. 1 year minimum, yes or no, for the services of Jaire Alexander. The John Madden movie, when it comes out. I would say Happy Gilmore because I'm an extra in the movie. I just guess I have to wait until July 25th to watch it on Netflix. Yeah, he missed a lot of games, including that stupid shit that he pulled with the coin toss or whatever. So, yeah. Space Beast, salute, man. Dropping my like on a busy day. I appreciate you pulling up. Kenny Raiders, sounds good. My wife is a Packers fan. They were fed up. He's made of glass. Good God. Your wife is a Packers fan. Better change that quick, bro. No, I'm messing with you. No thanks unless completely prove it deal. Sign him on a 6-month prove it deal. We've been linked to every free agent. Good God. But again, for us to have him here, especially under Pete could work wonders with him. I don't see why not. As long as the money makes sense. She's from Wisconsin. Okay. We got to make this happen. Hopefully he stays healthy. I'd really solidify the O-line by trading 4 offensive linemen, Cody Mauch out of Tampa, give them Tyree and decent draft picks, re-sign Colton. That would be incredibly interesting. I kind of want this to happen now. It's just a matter of time, and it's a matter of making sense. Like, what are the terms going to look like for a 1-year deal for him? How much are you willing to pay? Matter of fact, how much fucking cap space do we have? I'm getting back into the swing of things, guys. Like, don't judge. $36 million in available cap space right now. 36.16 to be exact. What was he making? I'm like all over the place with this now because I'm very, very intrigued now that we are seeing this. AC said hard pass on Alexander right now. I think it's Stokes and Porter. Let me just see something. What does he do this coming season? The base salary that he was due this year is 16. One-year deal, $12 million. I'll give you 8 in guaranteed money. Yes or no? He's not getting 28 now. He was just outright released. And again, 14 games in 2 seasons. He's not getting $28 million. Give him 10. If I'm giving him 10, I'm giving him 10 with about 6 or 7 million guaranteed money. What do you guys think? 1-year deal. 1-year deal between $10 to $12 million. 6 to 8 guaranteed. Does that seem fair? Yes, on 8 million guaranteed. I don't know if Spy Tech has ever watched my show. He definitely is a guy I would absolutely love the opportunity to chat with. But Mr. Spy Tech, if you're watching, try to make the call and see if they're interested. He would definitely make he would definitely be the legit number one corner for our cornerback room right now. Guaranteed prove a deal. And that's what I'm looking at it as. He ain't taking that. They tried restructuring him before releasing. No, I know, Tone. And, you know, our guy Joe is a huge Packers fan. He knows people over there. When me and Graf did the live and talked about Jaire last week, he was kind of shooting it down. They were trying to rework the deal and everything. And clearly that didn't happen. He got released. But he's not going to get a big money deal now that he's officially a free agent. I can't even say unless a team is incredibly desperate. I think even if a team was incredibly desperate right now, they're not going to pay him what he was expecting to make with Green Bay. It's definitely going to be lower. And again, no state tax here. Yeah, guarantee 7 with incentives to get 10. I like that, John. I absolutely like that. Absolutely. Rorschach said, give all $6 to $7 million in a signing bonus. That way we're not on the books for anything else. Yep. That's why I'm going with the ballpark that I'm going with. And again, he was due 16 this year. He wants 28. Again, you've only played 14 games in the last 2 seasons. This shit is going to move around now. Fuck me. I think realistically, anywhere from a ballpark range of $10 to $12 million, $6 to $8 million in guaranteed money makes the most sense right now. And I will fall off of this chair if there's some type of news that breaks, whether it's us or if it's somebody else that gets them for that amount. You can say that you heard me say it right here first. Keep Hobbs on the reason. Where is Hobbs now? Is Hobbs in Green Bay? I can't even remember where he's at. And this shit really did fuck around and move. Stop moving. Hobbs went to Green Bay, right? It feels like so long ago that he signed. That's why I can't remember. I've also been away here and there too. So he is in Green Bay. Okay. So I wasn't wrong. Shocker. How many people do we have in the chat? Can somebody let me know? Because I'm not sure how accurate that number up top is for me right now. How did the Eagles get Jahad Campbell late, but we're signing an old Jalen Smith? It's madness. I wish I had an answer for that, Reese, but I don't. Hammer, we do the deal only if it works for us, period. We are done overpaying. I wholeheartedly agree with you on that. Offer Pratt $5 to $6 million and 10 for Jaire and call it a day. We got 87 in the chat on the YouTube side of things. Okay. Appreciate you guys. Again, it's been a minute. Business will start picking back up again. Make sure to share it out. Tell a friend and tell a friend and tell a friend. We are back. I'm going to try to be on 2-3 times a week, 45 minutes to an hour. We're actually about to hit the 45-minute mark right now. Hit that like button, y'all. Let's go. I was saying I was going to fix it before, but I can't even put it on the screen now because we changed the layout. But smash some thumbs, hammer that sub, crush a bell. Alexander makes it too close of business without a last-minute trade. He goes to the Vikings. Bro, he's gone. He's gone. He's released. And what crazy enough, I talked like me and Graf talked about this last week, and he's like, oh, what teams do you think he could potentially go to? I gave 3. I gave the Commanders, I gave the Niners, and I gave the Cardinals. Again, if the deal makes sense, then yes, sign him. If he's willing to take that for a year and go on a prove-it deal, stay healthy for a fucking full season, maybe he'll earn a true bag. I don't see why you don't take it. Rorschach, I'm still dealing with this stupid cough lingering from a viral infection I had 3 weeks ago. It sucks. I sound like shit. I apologize, guys, but I could not be away again. Like, I've already been dealing with enough. You guys heard me come back last week, and the heartbreaking news I got about my little man and the mascot here on this channel, the mascot of Shieldmore Titan. It's been rough. It's been incredibly rough, and I'm just trying to fight through, man. I appreciate y'all that are even here today. I really do. Hey, you need to take a vacation to Montana this summer, my dude. Bring your sister. You're a jackass, Lumpy. Yeah, I had to get myself cleaned up before I went back to work this evening. But yeah, little man has actually been himself. I took him for a walk last week, and the neighbors around the corner, they've taken us in as family, and they're just like, we're so sorry, da 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 da. And they have 2 beautiful huskies. The huskies came out. Those are his little girlfriends. Like, he was so excited to see them. So, like, he's in great spirits, and I'm trying to be positive, but it's like, it's the time is eventually going to come, and it's going to break my heart when that happens. But I appreciate everybody last week with the kind words, the blessings during the live that me and Graf did. It definitely meant a lot. Yo, I'm done with you, True. I'm not even highlighting that. Q, what up? So there might have been some of you guys that weren't in here on either one of our lives or didn't see the live we did last week, because I see people like, huh, what are you talking about? My pup, my Roddy, was diagnosed with lymphoma 2 weeks ago. And pretty much we were told to just make him comfortable. 7 years old. He's lived a great life, even dealing with epilepsy, but like he's still himself right now. So yeah. Classic man, what's good, bro? Treatment is just way too expensive, and I don't know realistically if I were to put together like a GoFundMe or something if we could even raise. They said the treatment's like between 10 to 15K. I don't even know if we could raise something like that. If we did, that would be beyond phenomenal, but I'm just gonna let him be him, let him just live it out. Yeah, it's definitely not. But again, I'm still here for you guys. It has definitely been hard with work, with life. The work thing, I think we balanced everything out, so we will be on a couple of times a week. I would love to say that I can be on and do the pressers like we always do. It really all depends on the time, because over the few years with the different coaches, the times for the pressers have all been different. But if it's around the time where I know I'm here, I'm home, yeah, we can sit here and absolutely do the pressers like we always do. But I need to start getting an idea when exactly it is that they're going to do these pressers on a consistent basis. And, we would do the Monday ones from our head coach. Wednesday is normally quarterback receiver. So it's probably, not probably, it's going to be Gino and most likely Jacoby. But we still got a few months before that. We could really try to figure everything out. And again, I'm trying my damnedest to be on as much as possible. Appreciate you, Desert. Oh, man. Yeah. I see you guys in the chat. I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much. We talked about a lot. I don't think or feel that there's really much else to cover today. I'm looking just to double check. Yeah, there's really nothing else at the moment to talk about. And I feel like there's going to be other people on today, other content creators that are going to be on today talking about Jaire Alexander, talking about the Raiders trying to go for Jaire Alexander. So I don't know. You talking about Scary Terry? Nope. And the only reason I'm saying this is because he's another guy that's in the final year of his contract, and we know Jacoby's in the final year of his as well. I think McLaurin is a very solid receiver, but he's going to be another one that's going to be asking a high price. And you see what these receivers have gotten over the last couple of years. Most recently, T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. I don't see us doing that. I definitely don't. Salute to Jason. And prayers for you. It's hard with pets when you get so attached. Man, that's my fur child. That's my baby. So yeah. I appreciate you guys, and I'm glad to be back. Where you going, Kick Nuts? I called your buddy. He don't want to talk now. I think he's pissed that Alexander is gone from Green Bay. All right. Again, we're actually about to approach the hour mark. We covered a lot. I do want to go back to the other look, but I'm going to leave it alone right now. We got to focus on re-signing Jacoby and Miller. There you go, Matt. There you go. I appreciate everybody that pulled on up today. If anything else breaks within the next few hours, I'll try to get back on. If not, it probably won't be until tomorrow during the day. On your way out, if you haven't already, smash some thumbs, hammer that sub, crush the bell to stay up to date with all your Raiders news, rumors, updates, live streams, and reactions. In the house at Hammer, built by the nation, for the nation, Raider Nation News Today. Continue to stay safe. Most importantly, be kind to one another. COVID or not, you should always remember to wash your hands and your asses. And as always, win, lose, or tie, Raider Nation till I die. Till next time, y'all. And of course, as always, on my New York, peace, love, and positivity. And yeah, there's that part too.
And when I leave, come together like butt cheeks.
We outro, y'all.